Here we're going to take a look at calculating out some time value of money single sum problems. We have an example here. Brewer Company wants to determine the future value of $50,000 invested for 5 years compounded annually at an interest rate of 6%. So our first step is that we need to make a timeline. So here's our timeline. And present values on the left, future values on the right, the interest on the top, and the number of periods, N, is on the bottom. And so we have to determine, they want to determine what the future value is of $50,000 that's invested today. Okay? What is the future? Determine the future value. That means the future value, the FV, is a question mark. That's what we want to determine. And we've invested $50,000 now, so that is the present value. We have 5 years, and it's compounded annually, so the number of periods is 5. And we have an annual interest rate of 6%, so that's our I. So we now have our timeline done. Then we need to make a little formula and figure out what table do we use. So here we need table 1, because what we need is FV. So we're going to use table 1. And here is, you see, table 1. Future value of 1. Future value of a single sum. Okay, and so even if your table is called A or B or C or something, okay, it should still say future value of 1, okay? And so we take a look at our formula, which is going to be FV, that's what we want, equals the PV times table 1. So our PV is 50,000, and for table 1, we're going to look at the 6%, we're going to look across the 5 periods, and that 1.33823 then is our table 1 factor. So we have PV times table 1 is our future value, 66,912. Now we can look at the tables. Let me see, here we go. Here are the tables that you were given in D2L. Again, this is future value of 1, table 1, okay, and we can find the percentage of interest and go across the number of periods, okay. So the slideshow just shows you a few little bits of the thing, but if you needed the whole thing, here it is. Okay, here is another one. Assume that Edison Company deposited $250 million in escrow account at the beginning of 2017. They want a power plant at the end of December 31st of 2020. How much will the company have on deposit at the end of 4 years if interest is 10% compounded semi-annually? Okay, so our timeline, we're going to have the present value is the $250 million we're putting in now. We want to know how much will we have at the end of 4 years. So again, what we want to find out is future value. So it has the question mark. Now, for our I, interest is 10%, and the number of years is 4 years. However, we're not being compounded annually, it's being compounded semi-annually. That means twice a year. So in that case, we can look at this chart and see what we need to do. We have to take the N and multiply it by how many times a year there is compounding. And we have to take the I and divide it, divide the annual interest rate by how many times per year are we compounding. So in this case, semi-annual is twice a year. So we're going to multiply the N by 2, and we're going to divide the interest rate by 2. And so here it tells you annual is once a year, semi-annual is twice a year, quarterly is 4 times a year, monthly would be 12 times a year. Okay? So here with Edison Company, we have 4-year periods. We're going to multiply that by 2 because it's twice a year compounded. So that means we're going to use 8 periods. When we look up in the chart, we're going to use 8 for our N. Then we have to take the interest rate and divide by 2. So the interest rate was 10%. We divide by 2. So that's 5% is what we're going to use for our I when we go into the table. So here's our table. Table 1, future value of 1. Okay. And we're going to use the 5% for our I and 8 for N. So 5% column, we go across on the 8 row, we get 1.47746. We have our formula is future value equals present value times table 1. So present value of 250 million times table 1 factor, 1.47746. is 369,365,000 roughly. Okay, a lot depends. The chart that you might see in your book or that you might see somewhere else, and we're also going to learn how to use an app. They might use a different number of digits after the decimal point, and that's going to affect how much you get as your answer. And so what they've done here is they've rounded it up. That's not the exact answer that they got, but they rounded it up to the nearest 1,000 because how many decimal places you go out is going to determine how exact the number is. But we don't like to get real exact and down to pennies and all that kind of thing with these kind of calculations because the interest rate never stays exactly the same. Okay, so and how things are compounded and what, it's never going to come out exactly to the penny or even to the dollar. Okay, so just round it. It gives you a basic idea about how much you're going to have at the end of the 4 years. Okay, now in this section, we are looking at we need the present value. Okay, so the previous 2 examples, we needed the future value. Here we need the present value. So we're going to have a slightly different formula. Present value now is on the left side of the equal side. Present value equals the opposite, future value. And now we're going to use table 2. Okay, so if we had future value on the left side of the equal sign, we'd say future value equals present value times table 1. But if it's present value we want, then we say present value equals future value times table 2. Okay, so here's an example. What is the present value of $73,466 to be received or paid in 5 years, discounted at 8%, compounded annually? Okay, now we use the word discounted, meaning that the interest, it's still an interest rate, but it's going backwards. It's going from the future back to the present. we know we want 73,466 5 years from now, okay? So we want to know, well, what do we need to put in the bank today and let it sit there for 5 years, and then we'll have the 73,466 at the end of the 5 years. It's 8%. It's compounded annually, so I don't need to divide anything, and the number of periods is 5. Here is our okay, that's the wrong slide. Okay, so here we have the table, and again we say present value equals the future value times table 2. So notice here we're in table 2. Okay, our I is 8%, our N is 5 periods, so we're looking at 8%. 5 periods go across, that's 0.68058. We take our future value times that table 2 factor, and we get 50,000 is our answer for this problem. If we put in 50,000 today, the end of 5 years, we'll have the 73,466. Okay, another example. Assume your rich uncle decides to give you $2,000 for a trip to Europe when you graduate from college 3 years from now. He proposes to finance the trip by investing a sum of money now at 8% interest that will provide you $2,000 upon your graduation. The only conditions are that you have to graduate and that you tell him how much to invest now. Okay, so in this case, we know how much our future value needs to be, and we know how many periods. We have 3 years, that's our N, and our I is 8%. It's compounded annually, so we don't have to change anything. Our present value is what we want to know, so that's our question mark. So we'll have present value equals future value times table 2. So here's our table 2, and we have our 8%, 3-year period, and that is 0.79383. Our future value times table 2, and that equals our present value, $15.8766. You could easily tell him that it needs to be $1,590, and that would be close enough unless he wants it to the penny.